Education Rights Campaign urges government to provide grants instead of loans to students. The Education Rights Campaign has appealed to the federal government to prioritize grants over loans for students in tertiary institutions across the country. This stance comes in response to President Bola Tinubu's recent signing of the Student Loan Act. During a press conference held at the International Press Center in Ikeja, Lagos, on Wednesday, the ERC's National Mobilization Officer, Adaremoye Michael, and Deputy Coordinator Obinjimi Isaac emphasized the need to convert student loans into grants. They argued that grants would be more effective in supporting the living expenses of undergraduates in public tertiary institutions, given the significant rise in the cost of living caused by the removal of fuel subsidies and other economic measures. The student loan bill, initially proposed by former Speaker Femi Bajabiamila, received approval from lawmakers in late May 2023 and was subsequently assented to by President Tinubu in June. The loan program aims to provide funds for various educational expenses, including textbooks and research. However, the interest-free loan bill has generated mixed reactions, even as the federal government asserts that it will enhance access to tertiary education. Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, the national president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, expressed concerns in an interview with the Punch newspapers, describing the loan as discriminatory. Osodeke argued that burdening economically disadvantaged students with loans and debt after graduation amounted to discrimination. On the other hand, Professor Femi Mimiko, former vice-chancellor of Adekunle Ajasinakan University in Ondo State, envisioned potential benefits for struggling universities if the intentions behind the new act were effectively executed. He suggested that the issue of an effective repayment system, considering the economic realities of the country, could be addressed through future amendments, allowing for a longer moratorium before repayment commences. However, the ERC maintains its position that the loan program will not adequately address the challenges of accessing public education given the prevalence of additional expenses, such as acceptance fees, off-campus accommodation fees, and other costs. The group also highlights the high unemployment rate in Nigeria, which could make loan repayment difficult for beneficiaries. Criticizing the loan's repayment plan, the ERC argues that despite being labeled a non-interest loan by the government, the terms are burdensome and could subject beneficiaries to a challenging existence. Section 18 of the Act stipulates that repayment must commence 2 years after the completion of the National Youth Service Corps program, regardless of whether the beneficiaries secure employment or not. In a country where the general unemployment rate is at least 40% and among young people it is at least 53.6%, this requirement poses significant challenges. The ERC further explains that a detailed analysis of the Act revealed several concerning elements that may not be fully understood by those applauding the loan due to ignorance of the details. Even if the Student Loan Act undergoes revisions to address the identified issues, the ERC asserts that the program will not solve the problem of access to higher education. They argue that the fundamental solution lies in the proper funding and democratic management of schools, which would enable children from working class backgrounds and the underprivileged masses to pursue their education. The ERC's call for grants over loans adds to the ongoing debate Enugu state government collaborates with federal government to boost cassava production. The Enugu state government has unveiled plans to allocate over 100,000 hectares of land to enhance cassava production for both export purposes and job creation, particularly for the youth population. The federal government has expressed its eagerness to partner with the state in agricultural development. Governor Peter Mba made this announcement on Wednesday during a courtesy visit by a delegation from the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget, and National Planning led by Permanent Secretary Nib Olisa Anako. Governor Mba stated, "This project aligns with our development plan as we have identified agriculture as one of the key productive sectors. Enugu possesses arable land that yields 5 times more than other states. We are committed to working closely with you and providing all the necessary resources to initiate the pilot project in our state." The governor also emphasized the creation of a value chain, including cassava flour, cassava cake, cassava chips, and other cassava-based products. These ventures are expected to generate substantial revenue for the people of Enugu. During the courtesy visit, Permanent Secretary Anako emphasized the multi-sectoral nature of the high-level delegation from the ministry, highlighting their determination to chart a path toward the country's economic development. This collaborative effort between the Enugu state government and the federal government signifies a significant stride towards boosting cassava production, leveraging the state's agricultural potential, and fostering economic growth through sustainable agriculture. Terrorist attack claims lives and destroys church in Plateau State. Suspected terrorists launched a brutal attack on Chisu village in the Mangu local government area of Plateau State, resulting in the tragic deaths of 11 individuals who were burnt alive during the assault on Tuesday night. A survivor of the attack, Michael Bulas, a resident of Chisu community, confirmed the devastating loss of lives. According to Bulas, the victims sought refuge in a house belonging to a community leader after hearing gunshots in the area. At around 11 p.m., however, the attackers pursued them and set the house on fire. Bueller stated, regrettably, the terrorists set the house ablaze, and this morning 11 charred bodies were discovered. In addition to the loss of lives, the terrorists targeted the COCIM Regional Church Council BY along Mangu Bokos Road, setting it ablaze along with several other houses, vehicles, and tricycles before fleeing the community. This unfortunate terrorist attack has left the community in mourning and highlights the need for heightened security measures to protect innocent lives and safeguard religious institutions. The authorities are urged to thoroughly investigate the incident and bring the perpetrators to justice while taking steps to ensure the safety and well-being of the affected community. Lagos ranked as the fourth worst city to live in, according to report. The Economist Intelligence Unit's 2023 Global Livability Report has identified Lagos as the fourth worst city to live in worldwide. The comprehensive study assessed 173 cities, considering 30 qualitative and quantitative factors across 5 main categories: stability, healthcare, culture and environment, education, and infrastructure. Lagos received a ranking above Algiers, Tripoli, and Damascus. The EIU acknowledged slight improvements in healthcare and education in Lagos, leading to its upward movement in the rankings. However, the report highlighted that corruption remains a significant challenge in the city. Previously, in 2022, Lagos held the second position as the least livable city for 2 consecutive years, trailing only behind Damascus, which has been plagued by social unrest. The study also acknowledged that although corruption persists as an issue, additional public funding has been allocated to infrastructure and public services in Lagos. Furthermore, the decline in COVID-19 cases has had a positive impact on these sectors. Vienna, the capital of Austria, and Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark, maintained their positions as the first and second most livable cities globally. These cities were praised for their exceptional combination of stability, robust infrastructure, strong education and healthcare services, and abundant cultural and entertainment offerings. Melbourne and Sydney in Australia, along with Vancouver in Canada, secured the third, fourth, and fifth spots respectively in the overall rankings. The report serves as a reminder of the areas where Lagos must focus its efforts to improve livability, including addressing corruption, enhancing infrastructure, and prioritizing public services. The findings should guide policymakers in implementing strategies to enhance the quality of life for residents and elevate Lagos's global standing. Bill Gates urges Nigerian government to increase healthcare budget, reveals $10 annual expenditure per citizen. Bill Gates, the co-founder of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, expressed his dismay over the meager sum of $10 spent annually on each Nigerian citizen, emphasizing the need for the federal and state governments to prioritize healthcare in their budgets. During the Youth Innovation Forum held in Lagos on Wednesday, Gates stressed that without access to essential elements of life, Nigerians would struggle to fulfill their potential. It may not surprise you that Nigeria's state and federal governments only spend the equivalent of $10 per person on health each year, compared to $31 in sub-Saharan Africa as a whole. Leaders need to make a much bigger financial commitment, focused most of all on improving primary health systems, Gates remarked. He emphasized the significance of well staffed and well equipped clinics, along with ensuring that children receive necessary vaccinations. Gates underscored that these measures are crucial for enhancing health, creating opportunities, and unlocking Nigeria's full potential. The renowned business magnate and philanthropist expressed his confidence in Nigerian youth to bring about positive change in the country and beyond, citing the unprecedented potential of new technologies. However, Gates called upon the government and other stakeholders to ensure equitable access to opportunities and innovations. He highlighted the disparity in digital payment adoption, revealing that urban dwellers are twice as likely to engage in digital transactions compared to those in rural areas. Gates' remarks shed light on the urgent need for increased investment in healthcare and the promotion of equal access to healthcare services across Nigeria. The government, in collaboration with relevant stakeholders, must take proactive steps to address this issue and allocate more resources to healthcare, ensuring a healthier future for all citizens. Anambra State to construct a 12.4 billion solution fund city leisure park in Oka. In a recent development, the Anambra State government has granted approval for a contract worth 12.43 billion to construct a leisure park named Solution Fund City in Oka. The announcement was made by Mr. Paul Nwasu, the Commissioner for Information, in a statement released on Friday in Oka. The decision was reached during a meeting of the Anambra State Executive Council. The proposed leisure park will be situated at Park B within the Oka Township Stadium. It will encompass various recreational amenities, including outdoor and indoor amusement facilities, water park equipment, indoor arcade games, and bowling equipment. The upcoming leisure park is expected to provide a family-friendly environment for relaxation, entertainment, and recreational activities, contributing to the overall development of Oka and enhancing the quality of life for residents and visitors alike. Peter Obi slams proposed salary increase for elected politicians. Renowned politician and presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has strongly criticized the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission for its recommendation of a 114% salary increment for elected politicians, including the president, vice president, governors, and lawmakers. The IMAFC has faced significant backlash over its proposal to increase the basic salaries of public office holders in the country. During a presentation of the reviewed remuneration package of political and judicial office holders to the Kebbi State Governor Dr. Nasser Idris, RMAFC Chairman Muhammadu Shehu, represented by Commissioner Rakia Tanko Ayuba from Kebbi State, announced the contentious recommendation. However, Obi described the proposed increase as insensitive, arguing that it should not be the priority for a nation still grappling with issues such as minimum wage and a high poverty rate affecting over 133 million Nigerians. Taking to his verified Twitter handle on Thursday, the former governor of Anambra State voiced his disapproval. I learned with great reservation about the approval of a 114% increase in the salaries of elected politicians, including the president, vice president, governors, lawmakers, as well as judicial and public office holders by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Obi tweeted. This is not the appropriate time for such a salary increment if it is necessary at all. We are living in a time when an average Nigerian is struggling with many harsh economic realities. Obi called on leaders and public office holders to focus on reducing the cost of governance and alleviating the hardships faced by Nigerians. He emphasized the need for creative solutions to uplift the majority from poverty, particularly in remote rural areas. The leaders should prioritize the needs of the masses and those in the lower strata of society over themselves. The sacrifice at this time in our nation should be borne by the leaders. The increment should be reversed immediately and the savings should be directed towards improving education, healthcare, and poverty alleviation, especially in remote rural areas, Obi concluded. INEC initiates post-election review of 2023 polls. The Independent National Electoral Commission has decided to conduct a comprehensive review of the 2023 general elections following its customary practice. In a statement signed by Festus Okoye, the National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, INEC, revealed its plan for a post-election review on Thursday. The general elections, especially the presidential poll held on February 25th, have been met with discontent, leading to legal challenges from major opposition parties such as the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party. According to Okoye, the review process will involve INEC officials at both national and state levels, as well as various stakeholders, in order to learn from their experience and pave the way for future improvements. In part, the statement read, the review will commence with a meeting of the resident electoral commissioners on the 4th of July 2023 and conclude with the Commission's retreat on the 5th of August 2023. At the state level, the internal review will include regular and ad hoc staff of the Commission, including resident electoral commissioners, electoral officers, heads of departments, administrative secretaries, as well as some presiding officers and collation returning officers, it further stated. The external engagement aspect of the review process will involve essential stakeholders, including political parties, security agencies, election observers, the media, and service providers such as transporters who facilitated the movement of personnel and materials during the election. The post-election review aims DSS issues warning on impending attacks on worship and recreational centers. The Department of State Services has issued a warning about potential attacks on worship and recreational centers in the lead up to and during the Eid Kabir celebrations. According to the agency, the discovery of improvised explosive devices in the possession of terrorists during joint operations involving the DSS, Nigerian Army, and police has provided evidence of the planned attacks. In a statement on Thursday, DSS spokesperson Peter Afananya urged operators of malls and other public places to exercise vigilance. Given reports indicating plans to attack worship and recreational centers before and during the festivities, the DSS calls for vigilance ahead of the Eid celebrations. The statement read, the recovery of prime IEDs among the suspected terrorists further confirms this threat. Operators and patrons of public places, including markets, malls, etc., are advised to be watchful and report any suspicious movements and individuals to the relevant security agencies. The DSS emphasized its commitment to collaborating with other security agencies to conduct proactive drills aimed at frustrating criminals and their activities. Governor Soludo urges Anambra businessmen in Lagos to invest back home. Anambra State Governor Professor Chokuma Soludo has called upon Anambra businessmen and women residing in Lagos to consider investing in their home state, emphasizing that Anambra is ripe for business opportunities and that investing in the state will be highly beneficial for them. Speaking during a town hall meeting with Anambra residents in Lagos, Governor Soludo encouraged the Anambra community to maintain a strong connection to their homeland and ensure that a portion of their taxes is directed to the state, regardless of their current place of residence or work. The governor highlighted the progress made by his administration over the past year and urged the audience to actively contribute to the development of Anambra State, reminding them that being Anambra people is a source of pride. According to a press statement released by Christian Abureme, Soludo's press secretary, the governor stated, "This is the same question I ask myself every day, and we have a responsibility to leave Anambra State better than we met it." He stressed the importance of transforming Anambra State from a mere departure lounge to an attractive destination, emphasizing that a strong sense of homeland consciousness must be instilled in the minds of every Anambra indigene. Soludo expressed his commitment to revitalizing Onitsha, aiming to restore its status as the leading commercial city in the southeast and beyond. He also highlighted the government's efforts in reducing the incidence of killings and kidnappings through the implementation of effective security measures. Acknowledging the contributions of the Army, Navy, police, and other security agencies, the governor applauded their relentless efforts in achieving the recorded successes. He assured the audience that his administration has successfully restored law and order in the state, putting an end to the era of impunity. Regarding power supply, Soludo mentioned that his government recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company to ensure 24-hour electricity supply in the state. He also extended an invitation to anyone interested in collaborating with the government to establish an independent power plant in Anambra. Furthermore, Governor Soludo announced that the Anambra Investment Summit will take place